Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, the 4th of August, Tuesday, the 4th of August, 2020. And glad to have you guys here. Now, what I want to talk about is an awful lot of people out there who analyze the economy, economists and so on. They look at the economy through a micro perspective of that particular market that they're interested in. Like if they're interested in the gold market, they're right in close looking at it from that micro perspective. And you know, if they're looking at it depends on the market. If they're a trader in the stock market, they're the micro perspective of the stock market. But to really understand where these markets are going, to really understand the whole perspective of the world, you have to look, instead of in the micro perspective, you have to look in the macro perspective. And when we look at the world in the macro perspective, which is how I often analyze situations in the world, analyze what's going to happen, and you know, I have a tremendously good track record of predicting these events. When I look at the world in the macro perspective, what I actually see is a living organism, just like your body. And the problem right now that we're having is this living organism, which is our whole economic system, is very sick. It has the flu, basically. And it's not going away. It's not getting better. It's like if you had the flu and it went on for a month and 2 months and 3 months, you might lose your job. You might not be able to provide for yourself. You know, and this is the way with the world. A 35%, basically a 35% chop in our world productivity. Well, we have 8 billion people living on this planet. And we were just barely managing to survive, to feed them all, most of them, not all of them, but even when we had good times, when the planet was not sick. Now we're sick. We've lost 35% of our productivity. You know, a 35% decline in population in the world would amount to almost 3 billion people. You know? So this is a serious thing that's going on right now. What's happening in the United States of America right now? And what's the effect that's coming right up? Well, you know, we got something that's going to happen, and I would say to all the politicians out there, you better pay attention to what I'm saying for your own good. For the politicians, the bankers, all of the people in power out there, you should listen to what I'm saying for your own good. Because this is imminent, what's happening right now. We've got roughly about somewhere between maybe 12 million to 18 million evictions coming up in the United States of America. And if applied on the American citizens, these evictions, what will happen is in these households that are going to be evicted, you just don't have one person living in the house or living in an apartment. Especially in the more poverty range people, oftentimes there's eight people living in an apartment, and a lot of times these people they're not known that they use that apartment, but on average, probably 3 people. Let's say 3 people for house or 3 people to apartment. And you know what, guys, I might be being a little bit conservative. So if you take that. Let's just average it out to, instead of 12 to 18 million, let's just say 15 million apartments. Because I need to round the numbers off in order to figure out what the impact of this is going to be. So 15 million apartments and houses are going to be evicted, okay? Roughly, coming right up. You figure 3 people for each one of those, roughly. So what you're looking at is 45 million people across the board. Now, about half of that 45 million people, more or less, will be able to find other accommodations. So we've just chopped the number in half to about 22 million people. Say 22.5 million people. But those 22.5 million people, that'll be evicted, they don't have any other accommodations. They're on the street. Now, what are they going to do with 22.5 million people homeless? What are they going to do with them? Do they have any clue about what the logistics involved is to handle 22.5 million people? Have they thought this through? Why wait until it goes through? I'll give you an idea of what really should be done in America right now. The dollar's toast anyway. Why wait until America crumbles into the ground before you see the dollar reach its eventual conclusion? Why wait? You need to support the people now. And, $1,200 every 3 months, that's only $400 a month. How do you expect people to live on that? And they've cut off the $600 now. And they can't come to a conclusion on what to even do with the $1,200, whether they're even going to give it to people or not. Another $1,200. They're breaking away support to the part of the economy that's starting to slide into poverty to the point where nobody has any money. Of course, we're going to see prices start to drop on almost everything if they wait this thing through. This is the problem with government, and they only react after a situation occurs, not before. Now, what I'm pointing out right now is something before it happens. Just like a number of months ago, when the virus was not in the United States of America. I think it was back around January or something like that. There's no virus. Nobody had it. Not one person. I said close the borders. Close down all the flights in and out of the country. Shut everything down. Don't let anybody in or out. If they had done exactly what I said when I said it, right now there would be still no virus in America. America would have the strongest economy on the earth because there'd be no virus. But no, they had to only react after the situation, and they're doing exactly the same thing now. But this is something bigger and even more. This is worse. This is way worse. And what would they need to do to really get on top of this? Now, see, I offered a solution to the virus thing. Just close everything down. Don't let anybody in or out of the country to stop the virus. I'm going to give a solution to this. The solution cost $8 trillion a year. And yes, it would, over a period of several years, it would completely destroy the dollar. But the dollar is going to go down anyway, guys. It costs $8 trillion a year. Now, here's the thing. If you send them $1,200, that ain't covering it. For 3 months, that ain't covering nothing. What people need in order to survive. Now, the amount of people in America that need, in order to survive, they need $2,000 a month. Each and every month. And you're going to find that they spend most all of that money on their mortgage, car payments, on their credit card bills, on their light and their telephone, keeping their telephone going and everything. By the end of the month, $2,000. By the time they buy food and everything else, $2,000, they don't have anything left over. So if you give them $2,000 a month, that ain't going to cover it. That ain't going to improve the economy. That's only going to hold the economy right where it is right now. So in order to hold the economy where it is right now, just stay on a level playing field, you need to send each and every family in America $2,000 a month. And you can hold it right where it is right now. But that won't improve the economy. To improve the economy, you need to send them $3,000 a month, because they'll spend the first $2,000 a month covering all their bills. But they won't have anything to spend left over to improve the economy. So send them $3,000 a month to each and every household in America, and we will see the American economy start to improve, because that extra $1,000 will go directly into the economy to purchase things that people want, not that they need, but things people want. And the total cost for that program would be somewhere around $7 or $8 trillion a year. That's what the total cost would be. And in the first 4 months, virus or no virus, I guarantee you the first 4 months of that program, you would see the American economy improve. It would be a shot in the arm to improve the American economy. It would be almost like a magic pill. But you'd have to update the program every 6 months, and you'd have to do an accurate assessment of the real inflation rate. You'd have to take a number of products and price them and do an accurate assessment of the real inflation rate. And then inflation adjusts the amount of money that you send to people according to the actual inflation rate. So like do a test of different products and different services and stuff. And like if it costs $15 for a haircut at the start of the program, 6 months later check and see what it costs for a haircut. And if it's went up to $20, then you know that you need to increase the amount from $3,000 maybe to $4,000 that you send them. And yes, inflation will continue to increase, but I bet you they could get away with doing that for about 3 or 4 years before the dollar would actually be completely toast, and then figure something out from there. But at least you've saved America from going down into what we're going to see it go down to. Because, honest to goodness, if it keeps going in the direction it's going right now, we could be, I'm not saying we are, but I see the possibility for some sort of a popular uprising springing from nowhere. Just all of a sudden, boom, one day it's not there, the next day it's there, it's all across America. And it could be actually 100 times bigger than what we've saw over the last number of weeks. 100 times. Okay? Let that sink in a little bit. Because what we're looking at is of mega proportions. And they need to react now. They need to get ahead of this thing. Anyway, let's get into the markets. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. We're taking a look today at the gold and silver price. Now, remember I told you yesterday that Wall Street is being pumped full of money, and you know they're starting to look at gold and silver in a more serious light, and they're trying. They can see the demise of the dollar coming up, and they're trying to hedge. They're starting to hedge in the gold and silver. We're looking at a $17.70 rise in the price of gold today. It's getting up near 2,000. I expect it to back away when it crushes through 2,000. I expect it to back away for a couple times now. But, you know, eventually, probably in the next number of months, it's going to probably bust through the 2,000, and then it's really going to soar. Once it really breaks that mental barrier of 2,000, then look out. The sky's the limit. Silver today. Silver's at $25.41, and silver is really taking a moonshot today. It's up $1.09. It just continues to go up. $25.41 for silver. This is really looking solid for silver, and I'll tell you why. I think we're heading toward physical silver shortages in the physical market, and this could break the financial system to pieces. Really, this is the Achilles heel of the world's financial system. Because if the silver price goes shooting to the moon, gold's going to follow. And, you know, when silver and gold go to the moon, then it's just signaling that the dollar's demise is near. The dollar's death is near at that point. $25.41 for silver today. Cryptocurrency market capitalizations. You know, we got a strange effect going on here. Money's disappearing on Main Street, but money is just being poured on Wall Street. And so we got one side of the economy that's hyperinflating, while we got the other side of the economy that's deflating. So we got two things going on at the same time. And this effect is getting more and more profound. That Main Street's deflating and Wall Street is hyperinflating. And the gold prices are going up on Wall Street's side. Whereas, you know, you could see prices on some items on Main Street side of the economy fall, precipitously fall in price. So we got two things happening at the same time. Bitcoin is at 342 billion, 60.4% Bitcoin dominance. with a Bitcoin price. What are they putting this garbage on top of my screen? I can't see the Bitcoin price. It's over $11,000. I know that. I hate it when they do stuff like that. Honest to gosh, these internet thugs. Okay. Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's up 119 points on the day, 26,784. Nothing unusual to see here, folks. It's up again. It's heading for one monster of a fall unless they really start to roll the money out, because it's getting through. It's that 2.2 trillion and all the stimulus that's come in that's propped this market up. It's starting to reach the limit of how high the market will go on that stimulus. So gold and silver are going up on a totally different reason, on fundamentals. The market is going up on stimulus. And, you know, just like anything has its maximum effect, you know. If you go out and you take a shot of whiskey, it's going to reach its maximum effect about maybe a half an hour later. You're going to feel the effect of it, and then it's going to start to wear off. Well, that's the way with the market. You know, it's reaching its maximum effect right now, and then it's going to start to wear off. They're drunk. Basically, they're drunk on free, easy money, but they're going to start to sober up soon. You know, there's a lot of free, easy money. That's why they're so drunk. It's taken them a long time to sober up. Okay, let's take a look at crude oil. 41.56 for crude oil. It's up 55 cents on the day. So crude oil's catching a little bid today. Bonds and rates. Looking at bond yields falling down. You know, we're not much over the zero bound. Just this alone could take down the whole world's economy as the United States interest rates go below zero on the long end, you know. I mean, we're looking at big moves in bonds today, falling bond yields. 5 basis points is a big move. U.S. 10 years at 0.51 and the U.S. 30 years at 1.19 with over a 5 basis point move. The big move in bonds today. U.S. dollar index 93.48 and going sideways. Okay, so there's your markets, guys. I tried to sum up what's going on in the world right now. You guys have a great day and give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.